Okay, so for the last few years, we've seen AI learn how to talk. But now we're entering an era where it's learning how to do. Yeah, we've all played around with chatbots, right? Well, their time might be coming to an end. What's next is a massive, fundamental shift, and it's called Agentic AI.
And really, the change is pretty simple to grasp. We're moving from an AI that's just a talker to an AI that's a doer. Think about it. The chatbots we know and use, they're amazing conversationalists. They can generate text, answer your questions. But this next wave, this agentic era, it's all about an AI that doesn't just tell you how to do something, it actually does it. It acts, it executes, it gets the job done. And let's be super clear here. This isn't just, a simple software update. We're not talking about ChatGPT-5. This is a whole new way of thinking, a real paradigm shift. We're going from just having a chat with an AI to letting it operate autonomously. And trust me, that changes, well, pretty much everything.
I love the way this slide puts it. For ages, we build tools to help us work faster, right? A hammer helps you with a nail, a calculator helps you with math, even a chatbot helps you write an email a bit quicker. But those are all tools. An AI agent, that's a partner. The difference? You give it a goal, and it handles the entire thing, from start to finish, the whole shebang.
So to really get why this huge shift is happening right now, we've got to pop the hood on the chatbots we're all familiar with. We need to understand how we get from being a parrot to becoming a planner.
Okay, so what's the magic behind something like ChatGPT? Well, at its core, a large language model, or LLM, is basically a giant, superpowered pattern matching machine. I mean, it's been trained on just an insane amount of text. And because of that, it gets really, really good at one specific thing: predicting the very next word in a sentence. It's all based on statistics and probability. It's not thinking like we do. It's making an incredibly educated guess about what word should come next.
And that brings us to this absolutely brilliant and, let's be honest, pretty blunt quote. Since an LLM is just predicting what sounds right, it has no idea what's actually true. It's built to be plausible, to be convincing, but not necessarily to be factual. And that's the real kicker. It can sound so sure of itself, so convincing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't actually know anything.
The perfect metaphor for this is the stochastic parrot. It's just a fantastic term. It means it can repeat these incredibly complex phrases, it can echo human language almost perfectly, but there's no real understanding behind it. Zero. It looks smart, it sounds smart, but it's really just an illusion, and that very limitation is what we are about to overcome.
So, okay, if the parrot isn't up to the task, what is? Well, this is where Agentic AI makes its grand entrance. We're talking about a totally different kind of system, a new architecture built from the ground up for action, not just for chatting.
And this right here, this definition is the key to the whole thing. An AI agent, unlike a simple chatbot, can do three things. One, it can perceive its environment. Two, it can create a plan to hit a goal. And three, it can actually take action all on its own to make that plan happen. See the difference? It's not just sitting there waiting for your next prompt. It's operating with real intent.
And this isn't a one-and-done thing. It all happens in a constant loop. So let's make this real. An agent observes a new email from a customer pop into the inbox. It then plans what to do, breaking the goal down into smaller steps, right? Okay, I need to check the inventory, then I need to calculate the shipping cost, and then, and this is the cool part, it acts. It actually goes and talks to the inventory database through an API, pulls the data, and sends the reply email. Then, the loop starts right over.
And it gets even cooler when you scale this up. We're not just talking about one lonely agent. We're talking about whole teams of them, like a multi-worker swarm. So you give a really complex goal to a manager agent. That manager acts just like a human project manager. It breaks down the work and dishes out tasks to specialist agents. You've got your coder agent, your researcher agent, and the most crucial part? There's a feedback loop built in, so they can constantly check each other's work and fix mistakes on the fly. It's literally a digital office running 24/7 at the speed of light.
Now, I know this might all sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's not. This is happening right now. So let's take a look at how Agentic AI is already delivering some serious, tangible results for businesses today.
Let's start with manufacturing. You've got AI agents using computer vision, basically watching production lines. They can spot tiny errors that a human eye would just completely miss. And the result? Get this. They've been shown to slash product defects by up to 95%. I mean, that is just a staggering number.
And it's not just about making better products. It's about keeping the whole operation running smoothly. These predictive maintenance agents can watch over factory equipment around the clock, and they can spot when something is about to break before it actually does. That kind of proactive work boosts production efficiency by as much as 20%.
So, with results like that, you can bet the money is pouring in. The AI agent market is already a pretty big deal. But just look at that projection. We're talking about it growing 20 times over in the next decade. This isn't some niche experimental tech anymore. This is quickly becoming the new operating system for how business gets done.
And it's not just one or two sectors either. This is hitting every single industry. In finance, agent teams are hitting over 99% accuracy on fraud detection. In pharma, they're speeding up research and compliance. For software engineers, they're writing code, debugging it, and even deploying it. This really is a revolution that cuts across the entire economy.
Okay, so it's obviously a huge deal for business. But what about us? What does all this mean for your job, for my career? This is where the story starts to get really personal.
You know, for years, the story was that robots were coming for blue-collar, manual labor jobs first. Well, turns out we might have had that backwards. The roles that seem to be most at risk are what you could call the information middlemen. These are jobs all about taking info from point A, coordinating it, and then delegating tasks to point B. And why are they at risk? Well, because as we just saw, these AI agent swarms are about to become the best, the fastest, and the cheapest coordinators on the planet.
Now, what's so fascinating here is the contrast this shows us. Yeah, data entry, admin work, even middle management jobs that are all about managing workflow, those are at pretty high risk. But look at the other side of the coin. Skilled trades. You know, a plumber trying to fix a one-of-a-kind leak in a weird spot. That's still really hard to automate. And then, way at the top, the jobs that are all about strategy, about ethics, about figuring out the why. Those aren't just safe. They become more valuable than ever. This is the new steering role.
And this really brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway from all of this. Intelligence itself is becoming utility. It's like electricity you can just plug into. So your value in the workplace isn't going to come from knowing things anymore. The AI will always know more. Your value is going to come from how you steer that intelligence. It's a huge shift from just knowing facts to knowing how to direct this incredible power toward a goal that actually matters.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. At the end of the day, the machine is still that stochastic parrot. It is brilliant at predicting the next word or the next line of code or the next business move. It can do that based on all the data it's seen. But what it doesn't have, what it can't have, is judgment. It has no values, no sense of purpose. It can write a perfect story, but only you, a human, can decide if that story is actually worth telling.